Hello everyone. My name is Ron, and this is our YouTube channel, Empire Coins and Collectibles. I hope this episode finds you well and out there searching for those rare finds and coins. Actually, that's what the episode is going to be about today. Well, not so much rare, but you too can find the error coins if you only look. But before we go there, if you could please like, share, and subscribe and tell others about our YouTube channel. We hope it's been informative and entertaining to you, and by reaching out to others, it'll help us grow the channel and allow us to produce more content for you. Okay, I think enough of that. Let's go ahead and get started. So, what do I mean? You too can find error coins. Well, let me just flash something up in front of the main camera here. This is a 4x5 or 5x4 sheet of error coins that I found in a recent search, a particular type of error coins. Here is another 4x5 sheet that is not quite full, but it too is the same type of error coins. So, what are they and how can you find them? Well, probably, I'm thinking the most common type of error coin are rotated dies error coins. Now, what does that mean? What that means is that if this is the proper setting of the reverse and the adverse die, that they're properly aligned, where if you flip them over, you'll get a properly aligned reverse. When you look at it and flip it over again, you'll get a properly aligned obverse. But if the dies are rotated a bit, if you flip it over from one side to the other, like in a coin flip, then the other side is not quite vertical and aligned properly. And oftentimes, when people are going through coin roll searching, they're looking for the obvious error, like grease errors, doubled die, tripled die. Yeah, they're out there. I've got a few of those, and other types of errors that might be like die cracks and so forth. But rarely do you hear people talk about, oh, I found a rotated die. Now, I would like to share with you one coin that I bought. I bought it as an already certified PCGS coin. It was a Morgan dollar, and it probably had somewhere in the neighborhood of 70, 75-degree rotation on it. I went looking for it, and sadly to say, in all my organization, because I try to character myself as a collector and not a hunter-gatherer, I have misplaced it. But I will reserve that to share that with you for another episode when I do find it. It's not lost, it's just somewhere in an area that I put it that it was not readily evident to me. Have you ever done that? I think my wife has. What she does is if she finds treats for me, like when we're sitting down to watch a movie, she'll hide them so that I don't get into them before we sit down to watch the movie. And then when she's getting ready to watch the movie, she can't remember where she put them. So she's guilty of this as much as I am. But needless to say, she's probably poking fun at me right now, but that's okay. She's the boss, and I'm just the online talent, I suppose. When I said that to her the other day, she had a big laugh and she said, yeah, right. But in any case, I have selected out of this lot of about 48 coins I found. I've got nine more, actually 11 more I'm going to share with you. So there are 11 out of 51 coins that I found and searches through pocket change and coin rolls and so forth. They are mostly Lincoln cents, but I also picked up a few nickels, and we'll share those with you as well. Some of them have more pronounced rotations than others do. So I'm going to change the camera view right quick, and we're going to look at the small ProStream cam, and hopefully you can see this. Whoops, let me get it so you can look at it. So I'm going to rotate it around so it's not reversed, and maybe you'll get a good look. Okay. Come on, focus for me. These cameras are notorious. And at some point, I'm going to go over to Best Buy or some store like that and buy a Canon camera I can use that is autofocus and easily used. But in any case, these are the coins I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to put them under one at a time under the coin microscope. But I'd like to share one with you to begin with, and I'm going to share perhaps this one right here. Now, I want you to take a look. You might say, hey, Ron, you have oversubscribed on your staples. Notice I've got the normal staples here, here, and here to seal the coin in the coin flip. But I also have two more staples. I've got this vertical one, and then I've got this horizontal one right there. And the reason why I put those in there for this presentation is just so that you can align the coin in the proper orientation. And when I flip it over, you'll be able to see that the reverse is rotated away from vertical from the way the coin was minted. And will it focus? There we go. There's a good focus of it. Okay. So that's the reason why I put in these two extra staples, that vertical one and then this horizontal one. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to flip this over for you right now. If I can get it to focus again. Come on, focus. Can you focus? There it is. I'll flip it over and you can see the rotation. So I'm going to once again change camera views. I'm going to go to the coin microscope. So bear with me while I change. It takes a few buttons to press. And here is the coin microscope. And let me see if I can slide that up under there in such a way that you can actually see this. I'm going to adjust the lighting so it doesn't give you too much of a glare. And we can see the staples right there. There we go. So let me get my trusty toothpick out because Miss Empire, she likes when I point out the features in the coin with the toothpick, so there's no doubt, and I will try to endeavor to do that. But see this vertical one? Now, it's not crisply clean right at the center of the heart of this coin, but you get the sense of where vertical is, and then you see this horizontal staple. Now, notice this coin is just slightly, let me tilt it this way. All right, so notice the year is pretty much horizontal, right? And the actual Liberty, what is this? Let me look at it a little closer. Yeah, Liberty is kind of off line from the date in terms of what is horizontal, but that's just the way the coin was minted. So we're going to key off this. We've got this horizontal lined up with that date, and we've got this vertical. If we were to shift the coin over, it would fall right through the heart and center line, vertical center line of that coin. Okay, so this is a 1989 a Lincoln cent, Philadelphia, because it's not marked as a mint, and therefore it's Philadelphia. And look how red that coin is. Isn't that gorgeous? Red, 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 detailed features. This coin, along with a few others, may end up in a lot going out to Annex for certification. Now, let me repeat something that I've said previously. There are a few channels out there that will tell you it's not worth getting a coin certified that is a low value coin. Well, low value coins, probably I'm mostly in agreement with it. But if you have a really, really nice coin that's highly rated, but in its natural state, it's not worth a whole lot. If you get it graded and if it comes out to be a 69 or 70, a circulation type coin, 69 or 70, that's going to be a very expensive coin. So I won't go ahead and I send them in to be certified if I think they're really a clean coin and there's a chance of like 67 and up. But I do it mostly to preserve the state that the coin is in because they're going into my collection. Please don't share that with Miss Empire because she and I have already had that conversation like Charlton Heston. You're not going to, if you want this coin, you're going to have to come and pull it from my cold dead hands. Did I say that with my outside voice? I might be in a bit of trouble and I might need some of you to come and protect me from Miss Empire. But in any case, all kidding aside, this helps preserve the coin and increases the value over time of your collection. One of the things that I might share with you is I remember when the Susan B. Anthony coins came out, the dollar coins came out in 79, 80, and 81, there was just hundreds of millions of those things produced. And everybody was saying from a collector's value, there's not a whole lot of value there. But over time, they found out that there was a type 1, a type 2. They found out that there was a near date and a far date. There was one with a thick edge borderline, a trim around it, and the one with a narrow. So they're through the research done by collectors, a lot of those coins came out to be fairly valuable. So just because somebody says, you shouldn't waste your time and getting something slabbed that is low value. Well, today it might be low value, but if it comes back as a highly rated coin, it might be fairly valuable. Or some feature might be unique in this particular coin. So do your due diligence. If you find the coin, you like the coin, you want to preserve its state, I don't think you can find a better value than ANAX because it's fairly inexpensive to get these coins certified. One other thing about all the coins that I submit to ANAX, all the coins I submit to ANAX are my coins. I do not submit coins for other people. Now, there is one exception, and that was my good friend Dave O'Leary, and he wanted a coin certified, so I did send it in with my lot, the last lot I sent into Annex. But generally speaking, I do not uh, gather in coins from other people because some online talent do that as a business. They'll charge you over the what's going to cost them to get the coin certified, and they make money that way. I don't do that. I just do my coins, and then if we have coins that are of interest from the collecting community, and I've got multiples of them, I'll give them over to Miss Empire, and she'll put them on Empire Coins and Collectibles eBay store. All right, enough of all that. Let's go ahead and flip the coin and align it just like it was. Now, there it is. You can see the same staples. And let me turn this over just a bit right there. You see this right here? It's pretty level right through the horizontal center line. And this is pretty vertical here. So there's some rotation. Now, it's not a whole lot, but it is a rotated die example. And it's very interesting to me. And it's in a very good state in terms of MS. Now, will it be an MS 65, 66, 67? I don't know, but it looks like it's a pretty clean coin. Let me see if I can move the light around to illuminate it a little bit better. Sometimes these flex arms fight you in terms of positioning the light, and sometimes they're very cooperative. And I'm trying to keep the glare off the coin. But that is a pretty clean coin. And it is if you want to call it an error, because the coin, one of the dies got rotated in the press, and when it came down to actually mint the coin, that normal condition where you just flip it over and you'll see that the vertical is aligned properly and the horizontal is aligned properly front and back. In this case, it's not. Now, there's another thing I want to say about this particular coin. If you look at the rotation, it is not a lot. And therefore, every coin grading company has their rule set that perhaps, and I don't know what the degrees of rotation have to be for each one, but perhaps if it's rotated less than these numbers of degrees, we're not going to call it out as an error. So you need to make sure that you check with the coin grading service, how much of a rotation does it take for them to actually annotate that it is a rotated dies. Okay, so that's the first coin. Kind of interesting. That was the 1989. Now I have another 1989, and I should have gone from the earliest to the latest coin, but it is what it is. This one is, and the only reason why I show it, I've got it annotated as slightly rotated. So it's 1989. You can see that the staples are pretty much spot on in terms of horizontal. Looks good. Goodness gracious, I'm already at 15 minutes. I apologize. Then I flip it over and we orient the staples so that we get the right vertical, and we get the right horizontal. Let me just turn this horizontal to the counterclockwise position a bit. Now that looks horizontal, right? And notice there is this same slight rotation. So apparently in this particular year, this came out of a coin roll that I believe my brother bought at one point, and he gave me a few examples of these coins. Again, we have a slight rotation. Kind of interesting. Beautiful, gorgeous coin. It's in excellent condition, right? All right, let's move on fairly quickly. This one is a 1976 coin that is rotated dies. D. Now, it's not in the best condition. And you're going to find that when you find coins that have been out in circulation, they're going to have some environmental damage. Right there's one, right? Maybe some conservation would help. But then again, this coin value is not really high, and I don't think you'd want to spend money on having it conserved, right? And notice the staple along the horizontal is perfectly level, and then the staple that shows the vertical center line is perfectly straight up and down. So when we flip it over, this is 1976D, Lincoln, and we align the staples again, perfectly level, right? And vertical. And you can clearly see that this is rotated, a rotated dies error. Again, very interesting to me. Love the coin, love the look of the coin, even though there appears to be some dark spots on the finish. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to get into a couple more now. This is a 1978D. The last one was 76. This is 78. Isn't that a gorgeous coin? Look at that. Wow. Bright red, sharp features on Lincoln's cheeks and jawline. Excellent. And then there it is, 1978. Let me see if I need to focus it just a bit, maybe. No, there it is. And very good in terms of liberty. Now, I could also show you very detailed content by lowering the microscope, but that's not what I'm looking for in terms of errors, double dies, that sort of thing. The type of error that we're looking at for this particular episode is rotated dies. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to align the horizontal and the vertical. And you can see this. Let me push it up to center screen. You can see, oh man, the lighting is good on this one. I did something right, right? There it is. There's the vertical, and here's the horizontal. And clearly you can see that rotation right there. Beautiful coin. And I'm not kidding. If you go out there and get a bunch of coin rolls, or just check your pocket change, you too will be able to um, find rotated coins. Now, this next coin is the same year, but there's something fairly unique about it. And you're going to have to look at this closely, but we'll look at it secondarily after we look for the rotation. Now, the orientation is horizontal is here. Right, let me move that date so it's horizontal. You get a sense of the position in the staple here, right? And then the vertical there, right? So we're going to flip it over and orient the staples again. And clearly you can see this rotation. Now this is the same year as the previous coin. It's a gorgeous coin, right? Look at that. It does have the rotation, but this one may well be worth sending in. And it's going to be a little harder to see. I'm going to have to lower the microscope a bit, but it has a delamination in Lincoln's head. Okay. A verse delamination on Lincoln's head. So let's see if I can bring that into focus here. We're going to go down. So to go out of focus, and then I'll try to bring it into focus. Let me bring it down a bit. And it's almost like a V delamination. I think we're going to have to come down a little bit lower. There it is. Now you can't really tell too much just by looking at the coin from a flat standpoint, but see that right there? Looks like a V type shape right there. That is a delamination. And when you look at the coin from the side, you can kind of see under that. So that is a planchet type error where the copper plating has become delaminated from the zinc surface beneath it. So this coin is probably well worth the money to send in to have it certified by ANAX. Of course, there is some risk to that. And the only reason why I say there is some risk is because they may not agree that it is delamination. I think it is based on being able to see underneath the coin. Okay, so let me go ahead and orient this again, and then we'll flip it over, and you can see the last piece again of the rotation. Beautiful coin, very interesting. And this coin was found out of coin roll searching. So this is a double error type coin. All right, what's next? We're going to go to 1993 now. And this is a beautiful 1993 D. And you can see the orientation. I'm going to back it up just a little bit more so you can see the staple. I'll bring it back into focus. Look at the detail on his beard. It's a well-struck coin. And the reason why some of this is not in focus is because the staples cause the coin flip that it's stored in to be kind of off balance or not perfectly flat. That's probably a better way to say it. But we get most of the features in there. Now, would you agree? Let me just rotate just a bit. Would you agree that that is perfectly level? Maybe a little more this way. The year is perfectly level, and that staple might be just tipping up toward the out here, just a fraction. This right here, this vertical, looks like it's in pretty good position. So now we're going to flip this coin over, and we'll show you the rotation. All right, and there it is. I've got the horizontal just tipped up just ever so slightly. The vertical is almost straight up and down. And you can see clearly the rotation. This is kind of different from the other coins because this is a counterclockwise rotation, right? So that's kind of interesting. It's a counterclockwise rotation. Now, I do know on the coins that I've sent in to be certified by ANAX and others, they kind of do the rotation by the o'clock type system, rotated to the 11 o'clock position, to the 10 o'clock position, etc. This coin is not as in a fine a shape because there is some carbon spotting right there and some staining right there. But overall, it's still an error coin. You too can find it. Now, we're going to go to 1999. And this coin is gorgeous. And let me go ahead and orient the year so it's perfectly level. Now, unfortunately, in eyeballing when I stapled this one tips up a little bit more, and we'll account for that when we rotate it over. But the vertical is pretty close, right? So this will give us still a good indication of how much this 1999D Lincoln cent has been rotated. Okay, so here we are. Still a pretty good looking, and it too is counterclockwise rotated, or appears to be. Right there. Wonderful. And it's in really, really good condition. Love the coin, bright red. It actually looks better in person. I do apologize. I've got these in coin flips, so there is some reflection off of the cellophane that covers the coin, but I would say we're 98% there in terms of the true state of the coin and looking at it through the cellophane. Okay. Here's a 2006, and we're going to rotate this such that the date, the year is perfectly level. And this one, I almost hit it spot on. Look at that. Perfectly level with the staple and the vertical, just absolutely, there it is. Gorgeous coin. But I must, side commentary, I do not like the Zincan coins, zinc copper plated. They're not quality planchets. They're not long lasting. For a country like the United States with the wealth that we have in our economy, going with something like this is just less than desirable from a collector's standpoint. But I suppose that if you get it stabilized under a slab, there's going to be fewer of those available that survive due to the zinc rot, therefore making them rarer. Okay, now notice this staple is perfectly horizontal. This one is perfectly vertical, and we have a certain amount of clockwise rotation right there. Gorgeous, gorgeous coin. I think that this white is just dust and stuff. Yeah. So there it is. Beautiful coin. Now, again, unless I think these will be 68, 67, 68, I'm not going to send them in. I've got them in my coin collection, and they should be good enough as is. Now, here's the beauty. We're moving out of pennies and we're going into nickels. Even nickels, and I think I've found to a great extent that nickels are more prolific. You can find the rotated dies error on nickels more so than pennies, because I've seen a ton of rotated dies on nickels that were uncirculated, still in the uncirculated set. But notice, okay, a couple of things going on with this coin, and maybe I can go down a little bit lower later, but we have a low die mark, a low mint mark right here. Here's the orientation, and for horizontal, here it is for vertical. Look at this rotation right there. Pretty significant. Now, it's a well-worn coin, not very valuable, but it has a counterclockwise rotation in this direction. See, let me put that. Makes you wonder if all this lack of detail is due to wear and circulation, or if there was maybe some issues with grease errors on this coin. But anyway, it's fairly dramatic in its rotation. I'm going to flip it back over and show you, I'll talk a little bit more about the mint mark, and I'm going to lower the microscope. Now, some people are really excited about, quote, misplaced mint marks. And to me, it's a minor thing. And there's probably other people that will challenge this. But if you look at the S mint mark right there, people say it needs to, the center of that S needs to be up in this area right here. So this is classified perhaps as a low mint mark. It's not enough of a big difference to add, really, to me, add any value to the coin, but it's something else to look for in the earlier issues of the coins. Is the mint mark where it's supposed to be? And that could add value if it's not to the coin. In this particular case, not enough difference, I don't believe. Okay, let's go look at the 69S nickel. Now this one it's a 69S, and there might be some things going on. Let me just focus it a bit. It's got a great luster when you look at it outside the microscope, the year and everything. There's the S. If we were to go down lower on the S, we might be able to see some other things going on. But again, that's not the purpose of this episode. This episode is for the rotation. It looks like it might be S over S because of that little, look inside the last serif of the bottom of the S. There's looks to be something else sticking above that serif. So there could be an S over S type error there. But let's go back up so we can look at the rotation, because that's what this episode is all about. And you'll find that this is kind of an interesting rotation as well. Now, by the way, you can find rotated dies on quarters, on half dollars, and on Morgan and piece dollars. Okay, so let's bring it up a little further so we can see the, did I put the other staples in this one? Probably not. Looks like I didn't. So we're going to have to orient it there. Notice the orientation of these two staples. We'll key off those. They're vertical, right? So I'm going to flip it over and we'll look at the reverse of the coin and put these staples in the vertical position. So this one is ever so slightly rotated. Not worth a lot from the standpoint of the rotation, but it is a set of rotated dies. Okay. All right. We're going to look at the last coin and then we're done. This coin is a 69S as well. And I did put the orientation on it. And it has the same feature as the low mint mark. Look how low that mint mark is. It should be up in this area. It's down here. I believe I have the staples oriented properly. I'm going to move it up just a bit. Focus it again. Bring in the lights so they're better showing the coin. And notice that's horizontal almost and vertical, vertical, vertical. So let's flip the coin over and you'll see that this coin has a counterclockwise rotation. Okay. And it's in a really good state. It's a beautiful coin, especially if you look at it outside the coin flip. All right, we're going to now, let me just leave it right like that. I'm going to flip back and close up shop with you guys. Let me flip back to the main camera. I believe this is it. Hopefully you found this interesting. There are all types of errors out there, and I've shown you some errors and varieties. The rotation, which are, unless they're extreme rotations, they're not going to be real valuable, but some of them can be given the type of coin it is, like the Morgan dollar. And at some point, I'll find that coin and share it with you, but it's got to have a 70-degree rotation on it. Also, we had combinations of the rotation with low mint marks, combination of rotations with delamination. There could be multiple errors on the same coin. And whenever you get multiple errors on the same coin, it might be worthwhile to send them in to be certified and documented. And that adds quite a bit of value to the coin itself. Of course, one can say conditions is everything, but if there's a very rare coin, even if it's in poor condition, it can be worth quite a bit of money. All right, guys and gals, I think we're done with this. I hope this has been interesting to you and very informative. I apologize for going over, but in any case, when you have several coins, it takes a while for me to get through them. My wife does say I like to talk. I do like to talk and share content with my viewing audience on this channel. You take care of yourself, be careful out there, and as always, good hunting.